Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is I am Ruby Andrew. Actually my name is Ruby Andrew, but on YouTube you can find me on I am Ruby Andrew. On Instagram is I am Ruby Andrew. As you are watching my videos, please consider to subscribe to this channel, give this channel a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment down below. Thank you so much for those who have subscribed to my channel, and for those who have not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing after watching my videos. So today I'm going to talk about, there's a video that I left hanging on my channel. So today I'm going to do part 2 of that video. Yeah, I know, and I'm so sorry. I have taken some time. People have been asking me, why is part 2 of the video? Why is part 2 of the video? But finally, I'm going to give you the second part of that story. Just a recap on the first part. I was explaining what happened to my daughter, and my plan was to talk about the whole story, but down the road it was like too emotional for me. I couldn't do it, and I had to take a breather, stop, and now we can do the second part. I feel like I'm in that position, I can do the second part. So let's talk about what happened when we were at the hospital. The moment when the doctors tried to shock her and so that she can breathe, and it did not happen the first time, the second time, I remember even the third time, I had somehow given up. I was confused because everything happened so quickly, from having a healthy baby to rushing to the hospital to not breathing. And at this point, it's like she's no more. We were literally losing the baby, or I can say we had lost the baby at that point, because she was not breathing. She did not breathe for like 30 minutes. So I remember I went out. I was in the next room. There's a waiting room next to the emergency room, so I could see everything that was happening in the room where the baby was. The doctors already were like, there's nothing else we can do, the baby's not breathing, and the heart stopped. That was the hardest moment. This story is like so hard when I talk about it, but at that moment I realized that I've really lost my baby, and I'm gonna go home without my baby. I was mad. I was so pissed. I didn't know what was going on. I was confused. But then something happened. And I just think that moment when you feel like you've lost hope completely and you've given up and you've just surrendered, that is the moment things turn around. Something happened. We had the machine, the monitor at the hospital, that's a big screen that monitors your oxygen, your blood pressure and everything, your heart rate. It started beeping. That machine was not beeping. Those lines that are always there to show you if that person is breathing or the patient is breathing. That line was like straight. But this time the machine started beeping. Then I heard them say, oh, we have a heart rate. But the doctor said, we can intubate her. So she was rushed to the OR, and they told us, you know what, you guys, you can go to the PQ and wait for us there. We went to the PQ, we waited. we waited. I was confused. I felt like I'm in a totally different world. As I was waiting, they called us, which they took like 4 hours. After 4 hours, they called us and they took us to, like, there's a conference room where you can sit and talk. So we went there. There was 2 doctors, a female and a male doctor. One was the general doctor and the other one was a neurologist. So on their hands, they were holding images and they had like a projector or something. We sat there. I was tense. I felt like I want to pass out. I didn't know what to expect. But I was still in, I don't know, I was still in some kind of denial. Even after all this, I was still in some kind of denial. I don't want to cry today. So we went to the conference room and we sat there, and then the doctor started. She asked me what happened. There's something I didn't talk about on my first. I don't think I talked about this on my first part of the story. Before this day, the baby had already passed out like 2 times, 2 or 3 times. So this day yenye alikuja akapass out, now this was like the 3rd time. It was not the first time, but now this time, the first time when she passed out, we called 911 and they sent the ambulance. And even before they came to the house, the baby was already up and she was smiling and she was trying to crawl and she was back to her normal self. But this time she did not come back. So fast forward. So the doctor told me, this is what she told me. I remember she told us this. The baby, we have done tests on the baby, blood work, we have done MRI, the brain MRI, because we wanted to see how much brain is damaged, because we are very sure there's some damages because she didn't breathe for a long time. So the first thing she told us, the vitamin C and the vitamin D was extremely low, severely low. So vitamin C and vitamin D was very low. That's the first thing she told us. And that's what made her have that cardiac arrest. Now, the news that she's giving us, the neurologist now, she is showing us these 2 images. First image is an image of a healthy brain of a kid. And this second image is the brain of my kid. So now we have 2 images, one for the healthy baby and the second one for my kid. Even before she explained, it was evident that these images they looked totally different. So she had a severe brain damage because of not having oxygen going to her brain. So her brain damage came from not breathing, and the cardiac arrest came from lack of vitamin C and vitamin D, which was severely low. When I got this news, the doctor told me, "Mom, your life is going to change. All these things you are doing, if you're going for vacations, if you are going to restaurants, if it's going to be hard. You are going to need a lot of machines to go home with. You are going to need a lot of medication so that she can live. But one thing I can assure you, she's gonna be very miserable. She's gonna be a dependent kid." That thing broke my heart. I cried. I couldn't stop crying. I cried. I was like, what's going on? What just happened? Then the doctor said, this is what she told us. You know, she's gonna be very miserable. It's gonna be too much. She's very young. She was 6 months when this happened. We can, if it's going to be too much for you, but you go think about it. That's what she told her. You go think about it. But if it's gonna be too much for you, we can switch off the machine and we can extubate her. Just remove the breathing machine and switch off the machine, and just let the baby go, and just let the baby die, because she's gonna be miserable. Me, unajua, I was asking myself, go where? What are you talking about? Like, please help me understand. Go where? So you mean I should let my baby die? Basically, is that what you're trying to say? Then she told us, no, that was just my idea. The baby is going to be miserable. But I understand where she was coming from. Some people do that. Some people say, like, you know what? I don't want my baby to be miserable. I don't want her or him to live a life that he or she will never be happy. So I just choose to let the baby rest. People do that, and I don't want to judge anyone. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't want to do that. I wanted my baby with hands or without hands or without legs. I wanted her the way she was. So for me, I was like, I don't know, I just want my baby. I don't, let's just let her be. Then she said, okay. They took us to the room where the baby was. Oh my God. I looked at my baby. I felt like I was in some kind of dream. She had all these tubes, all these machines, all this medication running through the IV. And now I'm looking at her, she's so tiny. Is this my baby? And she had to be put to sleep for like a week. I think it was a week or 2 weeks. It was like around there. They had to put her to sleep completely. At that moment, I didn't understand, but later on, I did understand why they did what they did, because putting her to sleep for a whole week without waking up, without doing anything, it helped her brain to relax so that she can't get those seizures. Since the brain was severely damaged, she was automatically at risk for high seizure. So her being put to sleep 24 hours, 7 days a week, it really helped to heal her brain. And I think it has helped her until now. That's why she doesn't experience those seizures. I looked at my baby. I just left the room. I went to the bathroom and cried. I was on the floor. I was blaming God. I don't want to lie. I was blaming God. I didn't understand why he had to do what he had to do. She had to stay at the hospital for, I think, was it a month plus? Yeah, she stayed there for a quite long time. And now I had to stop working. I said, you know what, I have to stay at the hospital with the baby. So I was sleeping there, I was eating there, I was taking showers there. The only thing I could do, I will go home, pick up clean clothes, and sometimes I could even do my laundry at the hospital. because I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to go to her room and look at her crib and look at her closet and not see her. Like, it was hard for me. You know, this is my first experience. I've never dealt directly or taken care of a sick person. So this to me was like new, and it was confusing, and it was hurtful, and it was emotional at the same time. So I decided to stay at the hostel with the baby, which I did. I stayed there for a long time until she was discharged. And you know what? I thank God, I thank God, I thank God. Now when I look back, I thank God, because I have been blaming God for a long time until 2019, because I was crying. I was crying every day. I could feel her. When I'm feeding her, I will cry. When I'm changing her diapers, I will cry. When I'm taking her to her appointments, I will cry. When I'm giving her medications, I will cry. When she's sick, I will cry. When I'm just looking at her, I will cry. I used to cry I will just close the door. Like, I used to hide. I didn't want anyone to feel like, or to think that I'm very weak. So I will just go somewhere and cry and come back smiling. I really struggled for a long time. I struggled, and I felt like at some point I was getting into depression. I was forcing myself to be strong. I was forcing myself to be here for the baby. I forced myself so that people don't think that I'm weak. I could show up smiling. I could talk to people while I'm smiling. We got to a point where they were like, you know what, I think now we can discharge the baby and you guys can go home. But before that, they had to, you know, give me a plan, all these things I need to do for the baby when I go home. But the only thing I'm asking myself, who's going to do all these things? I thought they're going to be easy. Now this is another reality hitting me. But the only thing I thanked God is I had, it got to a point where like I could go home with my baby. I have that photo the day she left the hospital, and I will look for it and you know, attach it here. And that reminds me, there's somebody who asked me on the comments, she asked me, how do you manage, I don't blame her, it was really a genuine question. How do you manage to take photos when the baby is sick or she's going through all this stuff? I need these memories for myself. I need to see where we've come from. When I look at this picture right now, the only thing I say is thank you, God. Because as much as I struggle, when I look at this, sometimes they make me emotional. But then when I look at the kid and I look at these photos, I have something to say thank you, God. So for me, I do appreciate the far she's come since she got sick. The long story short is we went home and this new life started, and the baby is almost 5 years. In July, she'll be 5 years old, and I thank God. Like, I'm telling you guys, the only thing I look at my baby and say, thank you, God. But one thing I can say, it's not easy. I cannot sit here and tell you guys, oh, it's very easy, just go for it, do it. It's very easy. Anyone can do it. No, it's not easy. But I'm at that point whereby God has given me peace. I'm happy with the baby. I can be there 100%. I can provide for her. I can show her love. I can show her affection. And that's why I hope this video motivates someone out there. That's why I'm doing this video. I hope someone gets motivated out there. It's not easy, but one thing you need to know, you are not alone. Most of the people are going through the same thing you're going through. But God gives us this special strength. You are tired today, you'll go to bed. Tomorrow you will wake up like a new person and you'll keep pushing. Don't ever give up on your kid. Don't ever give up on your kid. You are not alone. If you need to talk to someone, talk to someone. It's so easy to go into depression if you're taking care of a kid who has challenges. It's very easy to get into depression. But talk to someone. Don't let yourself get into that dark place. I have struggled with depression. Talk to someone that you trust. Find help if you can get help, because personally I struggled to give someone to take care of my kid. I've never left my kid with anyone. I take care of my kid. So it's hard to leave your kid with somebody else. But then at the end of the day, you realize you need that break too. If someone offers you help, just take it. It's hard. I know you feel like, oh, they may not understand what the baby wants. They may not understand. They may not know how to take care of the baby. And it's not like we don't trust those kind of people. It's because we have put ourselves in this box. It's only me and my kid and nobody else and no one else. Now letting somebody else in, it's kind of a struggle. I never knew I'll get to a point where I will talk about my kid in front of people. I didn't know I will share my story in front of people. But because I feel like God has been so good to me, I have to share my story. I have to inspire somebody out there. Don't let yourself go. Just do what you can to feel good. If you want to dress up, if you want to do this, just do what you can for your mental sanity. The final thing I can say is, I was told my baby is not going to survive. 2 times I've been told. I'm excited because now when people look at my kid, everyone is shocked. Even the doctors, when you go to the hospital for checkups, if every doctor, all of them, they are surprised. All of them, they're like, they didn't expect her to reach 5 years. Now she's gonna go to 5 years, and she will go to 10, and she will go to 20, until God said, this is the end of the road. Only thing I can say, thank you so much for you guys showing me love. I don't take it for granted. And for those who have been so nice, thank you so much. May God bless you. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for embracing my channel. Thank you for sharing my videos. Thank you for leaving a comment. Thank you. I can see I try to respond to all of you, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying to do everything at the same time. And for those who have not subscribed, please, when you watch this video, consider subscribing to my channel. Hit that notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment down below. Bye.